Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you how to play Loki, the God of Mischief in Marvel Rivals. Now Loki's a very difficult to play character because he has his clones that you have to have up, and knowing where to put your clones is part of the battle. And also knowing when to use your ultimate and your abilities is important, so I'll be covering all that in this video. Now obviously your clones will triple your damage output, so that's really nice. It'll also triple your healing. And they're going to face wherever you face, and they'll also copy your actions, like if you do a melee attack or if you do a range attack. So what's nice about this is you can actually pop up all your Loki clones and then pretend to be one. Now, whenever you do this, don't be the middle one, because from my experience, they always will attack the middle one first. And whenever you're doing this, if they start attacking your clones, that's ideal, because you can return fire with this, and it's likely enough to take them out. But typically, again, yeah, make sure that you're not the middle one, because that's the first one people will typically attack. And if you start going to attack, you can actually pop your invincibility zones here. So this will heal you for any of the damage that you take. And what's nice about this is it will also protect your teammates. So you can actually have one of them on the objective. So if you're doing like the payload push, you can have one of your Loki clones on there. And then with that, they're going to be able to heal from there, but also provide a bunch of invincibility if anyone's deciding to ult. So something like the Punisher's ult can be countered with this. Things like Wanda's ult will not be countered by the invincibility zones, but that's just another thing you got to pay attention to. Now, when it comes to your damage, you actually do splash damage. So you can see here, it deals a bit of damage from range, so you can hit multiple targets at a time and also heal at the same time. But a direct hit's going to deal obviously more damage, so that's going to be the ideal way to go for it. Now, we can't actually get headshots, so it's best as Loki to shoot near their feet, because the splash damage will hit them if you don't end up hitting them, versus missing with something like this. Like if you miss with your shot, it's going to hit the wall, versus if I were to aim near their feet, it would just splash damage and hit them. So with Loki, it plays a little bit differently. You want to aim for the feet. So if you have your clones up, you can go ahead with shooting near the feet, and you can see for even if you don't aim perfectly, you can still take them out. Another thing, you got an ability on your right click to be able to disappear. So the doppelganger is our E attack, but we also have the right click to disappear. So you can use this to create a clone of yourself, move around, and you'll heal during this. You also move a bit quicker, so you can set up and get your special backstab attacks off. So the backstab will deal a little bit extra damage. It obviously doesn't deal a whole lot of damage because we're hitting multiple times, and it takes that to take them out. But you can see there, it doesn't deal a whole lot. And if we go behind, it deals 50% more damage. So there's ways where we can maximize this damage. So let's say we have our Loki clones here. This is not very often that something like this can happen, but we can go and get our attacks off really quickly there and knock them out very quick. This is useful if, let's say, a Punisher set up his turret. You can just go behind him, bang, bang, bang. They may turn around, but by the time they turn around, you'll be able to blast them with a main fire attack too. So you can go boom, boom, and then by that they should be done. So that can be, I guess, one thing. It's not going to be common that you can get that to happen, but it could happen. Now for our Loki's positioning, typically you want to have them up down low, which is surprising. Typically you'd think you'd want to have them up high, but if you have them up high, they kind of aim weird. So sometimes when you have them up on like a ledge here, whenever you shoot down, they won't be able to actually hit. So that's something that's a little frustrating, but it just depends. Having them up high also leaves them for Hawkeyes to be able to snipe, so that can be something you have to pay attention to as well. But yeah, the placement is important. So having them on a position where they can also reach is important, but lower is typically better. And then with this, you can just literally fire away. And again, being on the left-hand or right-hand side is nice, because you can just heal your team up, and the enemy's just going to think that the middle one's the Loki clone, typically. But another cool thing is whenever you drop your Loki clones, you can run away and press F and turn into one of them without even having to look at it. So this is really great if you're getting jumped by like a Wolverine or something. You can like place down one of those, start running, and then pop into your other clone there. Being able to teleport to the clones is extremely useful, and one of the best benefits of when you get jumped. If you don't want to just use your rune of regeneration there to be able to heal your damage back, just going in and swapping to another Loki clone is extremely useful. It'll aim to the one that you're closest to aiming with, and it'll replace your old body with your Loki clone too, so it can continue to deal damage or attack. But one thing with this is you can use this to kind of trick out enemies that jump you, because people typically go after Loki pretty commonly. So we're going to run away here and then go, oops, disappear, reappear over here, and then we can go ahead with attacking. Now, his ultimate is interesting because you actually are... You might be tempted to copy like an Iron Man or a Wanda with their insta-kill ults, but the best ultimates are actually Luna Snows and Mantises, because those will heal your whole team. And whenever you switch Loki from Loki into his ultimate, you're actually down one healer, because then you're not going to be healing. So the best ones are Luna Snows. Obviously, that's a very powerful one. Luna Snows is great. Mantis's is great. You can also go with something like Adam Warlock, who will give the whole team a revive. These can be game changers. Some other ones that are really good is like using the using Penny Parkers, which can create a lot of space with all the mines. So that one can be really useful too, as you can set up and keep your team safe that way. That's one that I like to copy often, because it's just, again, good for your creating space. But even ones like I wouldn't recommend doing like a Wanda one too commonly, because typically you'll get taken out if you're using the Wanda one, unless you're smart with using it. But those are some of the best ones, but the healing obviously being some of the best that you can choose, just because you're going to continue to fill your role of a healer, but at the same time also just give like the invincibility is super useful. So if you already have a Luna Snow, that's nice, because then you can get 2 of her ultimates, and it's the best one in the game, so that's perfect. But yeah, copy the healers. They're typically going to be the best. Now I'll show you off what this looks like in a game. Another thing is Loki is actually really good at destroying surfaces. So you can see there, we destroy those pillars with just a couple attacks. So that's something that's nice about Loki you can take advantage of in certain maps, opening up some different strategies, as you need to have your clones in good positioning. Now I also like to add it onto the payload there, but you can see getting a couple eliminations just due to the massive amounts of splash damage that we got. So you can actually heal your tanks and then also deal damage with them at the same time. So that is pretty crazy. Now I'm moving around a lot as Loki here, but I went undefeated, no deaths in this run, so that was kind of worthwhile. But typically staying stationary is going to be your best choice, but if there's a lot of chaos, you can also go that route. Now Psylocke's another really good ult that you can steal, because unfortunately I didn't get a second hit there, but you can also take out here the Psylocke there, because this is a really effective one. Now typically you don't want to be using the combat ones too often, but I'll show off here. In the next game I had a lot of eliminations. This is my MVP game, so that went really well, just due to the amount of support and healing I was able to get off. But this is a pretty crazy usage of the ult too, so staying inside those safety zones there, and then popping up and taking their Iron Man's ult. So this is a bit more selfish, but good whenever you're in a rut where you're just dominating. I was able to take out their healers, so that was a fair trade. But typically taking Luna's ult is going to be better than going after like a Captain America, or Iron Man, or a Wanda. So yeah, this is really the best strategy for Loki, is just to stick to the back lines and have your Loki clones a little bit ahead of you, so that they can grab a bit of the aggro instead of you. And here I was able to delete their healers yet again, so that's the nice thing about taking an Iron Man. I was able to take out 2 healers with that double knockout. It's huge. Big game changer for us there. I was able to win. But then also taking Luna Snows, as I said, is extremely useful, because it's able to keep your entire team alive with a big push for the end here. So we were able to get a couple of easy victories, and that's how to play Loki in Marvel Rivals. If you have any questions, leave in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.